then after that, they were shipping us out again because as the Allies moved closer, we were being shipped out away. So we were shipped out to Theresienstadt this time, and there we were liberated, if you want to call it that, by the Russians. And then we escaped because typhoid fever was rampant in Theresienstadt. So, but we already had typhoid fever, and we knew that we were so-called free, so we wanted to get out, so we dug a ditch under the wires, and some of us escaped that way and went back to Poland to Radom by trains. We didn't need money. This was right after the war, so there was no money being exchanged. And that was another horror story. That I'm not going to go into that because it would take too long. That's why my book is it starts with my mother in World War I, my parents, and then about me, and then it was also after the war what happened to me. So which was not a pretty picture. And so we will close with that, and if you have any questions, I'd like to answer.
You survived and are with us. What happened to Bill?
We both survived, but she went to Israel to live there. She had 2 sons. And when she was 51 years old, 50 or 51, she had colon cancer. And I went to Israel, and I took care of her being a nurse. She didn't want to die in hospital.
She was reunited with her sons? You said she had 2 sons?
After the war.
Oh, so she'd be fine.
Yeah, my sister was only 3 years older than I. So when she moved to Israel with her husband, she wasn't her husband, but after in 1947, I believe it was, this is when a lot of the survivors went to Israel. And she did, and she married, and she had 2 sons. And I am still in touch with them all the time on email. Her grandchildren.
Yes, I was wondering how the mindset of the Nazi people, how was it a matter of upbringing that they would reciprocate sort of atrocities to their fellow human beings? To this day, I do not understand it.
Yeah.
I served in the military myself. There's, you just can't imagine.
Well, if you talk to any Germans now, if you go to Germany right after the war, later on, they didn't know anything. They didn't know what was going on. Give me a break. Buchenwald, you could smell the dead bodies from the street. You could, everywhere you went, it was easy to say that they didn't know. And as far as the Nazis were concerned, they were good Germans. This was their fatherland, and Hitler was their father. So they were being obedient to their father. And it was also a thing where with my observation, being a good listener, I saw that there were that one was watching over the other's back, in order to telltale on that. So it was the same thing during communism in Russia. They were watching. One was they were trying to find, because he thought if he's going to telltale, he's going to be the big shot. And it doesn't happen that way.
You mentioned the starvation at the various camps. What did they feed you, and how frequently were you fed?
The starvation
Yeah, well,
continues, it never stops.
but did they give you some food?
The rations we were given was to give you an idea. At night, we were given, in the morning, nothing. At around 12 o'clock, we were given a bowl of soup, which was, if you found a piece of something in there, a potato, a piece of potato, or a piece of turnip or something in there, you were lucky. And then at night you were given a piece of bread that was like, again, with sawdust. And that was it. That was it. But you know, your body becomes acclimated to the little bit that you eat. And it was very difficult for Bella because she used to get stomach pain from hunger, terrible hunger. And in Bijuni camp one time, the cook approached me. This was after my night shift. The cook approached me when I was coming back from the night shift if I wanted peeled potatoes, and he would give me a bowl of soup after. So of course I was eager, and so I went and I peeled potatoes for several hours, and then he gave me the soup, and then I was working the day shift at the time. So I was walking with it was not a full bowl, so I wasn't afraid of spilling, but I was walking with that bowl directly to where Bella was, and she was standing at the wall, holding onto her stomach, and I gave her that bowl of soup, and she said, "Did you eat some?" I said, "Oh yes, I did." And I was able to withstand hunger better than her. And so when I watched her eat, it felt so good. But that was just once or twice that we saw. Sometimes in that same camp, we would try to save that bread for the morning, because we had a whole day. And so we would, because the rats, we had to hide some people had little pots with covers or whatever. So we had a little pot with covers, and we hid our bread into that pot. And so often Bella would get her piece of bread, and she would take a big bite out of it. She couldn't help herself. So in the morning, she didn't remember, so I took her piece of bread, and I exchanged it without her knowing it. So some people were able to withstand hunger better than others.
Were you given water?
I don't, not many times I think about that, and I don't remember ever being thirsty. I was hungry, but not thirsty. So, and the soup was watery, so that's all the liquid. I don't remember ever given water. Like, here, you need some water to drink. Yes.
Did you ever witness where the Polish people would rush on the SS and take their fire on the way and start killing?
No, because this was in the underground. They would go into the woods in the underground, and this is how they were defending. But I never witnessed it. Yes.
How long did your mother survive? Did I miss that?
Nobody survived. They were all perished in the ghetto. When the ghetto was liquidated, everybody was being taken to Treblinka, a place called in Poland, Treblinka. There was not a camp for people. It was a crematorium. That's all it was. They were just gassing the people and burning them. So none of my family survived except that